Hi, everybody, and welcome to Analytical English. I'm Karen.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is October 29th, to the end of the month again. We're on page 84, and we're about to start with our second grammar lesson of the month.
好，今天我们继续看副词啊，而且我们继续看副词的位置。我们看第9点啊，这里讲到说这个名词子句啊，也就是由 that、whether、what、where、when、which、how 啊等构成的这种具有名词的功能的子句呢，它在句子里面呢，主要是通常做主词啊、受词啊，或者是在 be 动词后面当主词补语。但是名词子句呢，也可以放在形容词的后面。那这个时候呢，因为它是用来修饰这个形容词，所以它就变成了副词子句。也就是说，它的这个结构上面是名词子句啊，但是它的作用是副词啊，所以叫做副词子句啊，但它的也是名词子句。那这个时候它是用来修饰这个形容词，因为修饰形容词，我们通常英文是要用副词。
That's right. And you'll see in the first example that this whole adverbial phrase is a reason, and that's why we consider it an adverbial phrase. I'm sorry that I cannot attend your party.
啊，很抱歉我不能参加你的 party 啊。那这个地方 I'm sorry 我很抱歉，那后面加了一个名词子句 that I cannot attend your party。那这个是名词子句，可是它是用来修饰 sorry 这个字，所以它也变成了副词子句。那它是一个表示原因的副词子句。好，我很抱歉，为什么呢？因为我没办法参加你的 party。
As a reminder, adverbial phrases are often time, place, manner 方式 or reason 理由。Those are often things that end up in adverbial phrases, and that's what this one is, the fourth one. It's a reason. Let's look at our second example. I'm not sure whether he'll come.
好，我不确定他会不会来啊。那这也是一样 I'm not sure 是这个我不确定。那不确定什么东西呢？要修饰一下啊，所以又加了一个副词来修饰这个 sure 啊，不确定他会不会来。
You can view this as a prepositional phrase starting with about, and a prepositional phrase is usually used as an adverb or an adverbial phrase. So I'm not sure about whether he'll come. That makes it into a prepositional phrase, which functions as an adverb.
啊，所以呢，这个地方你可以把它想象成为，好，这 I'm not sure 后面省略了一个 about。那 about whether he'll come， 那这个如果是加了一个介系词的话，介系词片语它常常就是用来当做一个副词来使用啊，所以你就可以了解这个地方这个 whether he'll come 也是一个副词子句。
Right, and we have just finished section 2 of this part of our grammar discussions on adverbs. And this part is about the position of adverbs, where we put them in the sentence, 就是副词的位置。We have finished part 2. We're moving on to part 3, which is about
重要的副词用法。我们要接下来讲第3节一些重要副词它的用法。那第一个要谈的就是 very 跟 much 这两个副词要怎么用啊？那首先大家记得这个 very 呢，它不可以单独修饰动词啊。那要修饰动词的话，要用 very much 啊。而且 very much 修饰动词的时候，它的位置通常是在句尾。
For example, I like you very much. You put it at the end. If you want to put it before like, you have to use an adverb like really. I really like you. I like you very much. However, there's another usage that's not related to this. It's the same word, but it's unrelated. And I think that's part of the reason why people get confused. Like can also be a preposition. 很像什么东西，后面接的一定是个名词。So, I'm very like you. 我真的很像你。我每一次有这种情况，我会有一样的想法。
好，那这里呢，我们一步一步来啊。刚刚 Karen 老师讲了很多重要的讯息啊。第一个我们要记得就是这个 like 啊 I like you 这个 like 是动词，所以你要修饰这个 like 的话，你不能说 very like you 不可以，你要讲 very much 而且放句尾，所以变成 I like you very much 这个才对啊。那这个句子不能说 I very like you 也不能说 I very thank you 那都不对啊。
But you can say I really like you, I really thank you because really is an adverb.
Yeah, 但是你可以用 really 哈，所以你可以说 I really like you 啊。那这个另外一个呢，就是 like 这个字有另外一种用法哈，它是这个你可以说它是介系词，但也有人说它是形容词，就是 be like something 啊，那就是表示很像的意思。
It's a preposition because by definition, a preposition is anything that you have to put a noun after. So it's a preposition.
哦，那这个 比较正确的说法应该它是个介系词，因为它后面一定要有一个名词，所以
它不能单独使用。
所以 I'm very like 什么东西，就是我很像什么啊，所以 I'm very like him 就是很多时候我跟他很像了，我们两个人很像的意思。那这个地方这个 like 就不是动词了，所以它可以前面放一个 very 来修饰。
So take some time to clarify that in your head. I'm very like him is okay, but it has nothing to do with 喜欢。这纯粹是表示说我很像他，我跟他真的很像。So I'm very like him in that we both love bowling.
我跟他很像，在哪一方面像呢？我们都很喜欢打保龄球。
Which is kind of silly, but anyway, it's correct. So
Yeah.
I really like him. He is such a polite young man.
那你如果说要在 like 前面用副词修饰的话，你只能用 really 之类的，不可以用 very。你要讲 I really like him.
Oh, I like him very much. He's always so nice every time he comes to see me.
那或者是 I like him very much， 因为每一次他来看我的时候，他都很好。
Okay.
Yeah.
B.
那 B 呢？讲到 much，much 也可以用来修饰动词但是呢，它大部分都是用在问句或者否定句里面才会用 much 来修饰动词，肯定句比较少见。那如果在问句里面的话呢 ，much 也要放在句尾。那如果是否定句的话呢 ，much 可以放在动词的前面或者放在句尾。
Yeah. For example, do you go to Tainan much?
你常去台南吗？这个 much 用在问句，而且它放在句尾。
You could also say, do you go to Tainan often? And often sounds a little more 一板一眼, a little more formal, a little more correct by the book. But much is very colloquial and we use it a lot.
所以这个
meaning often.
Okay, yeah. 所以这个 often 这个字呢，在这个句子里面 ，Do you go to Tainan often？ 这听起来比较正式一点，比较一板一眼但是也可以这样用。但是这个比较常听到的，其实 Do you go to Tainan much?
Let's look at it in a sentence with negation. For example, I don't much like living in the country. And this time it sounds quite formal. It sounds like something I would write, and I'm trying to be polite because I don't want to say, I can't stand living in the country. Instead, I'm being very 委婉 about it, and I say, I don't much like living in the country.
所以 I don't much like living in the country 这个感觉起来比较正式很礼貌很委婉那种感觉 Yeah.
And that's about the same as I don't like living in the country much.
那你也可以把这个 much 放在句尾你可以把 much 放在 like 的前面，动词的前面也可以放在句尾。
And if you put it at the end of the sentence, in this case, it sounds more colloquial.
那你把 much 放在这个句尾的话呢，比较 colloquial， 听起来比较口语一点。
So listen again. This one sounds more formal to my ears. I don't much like living in the country. I'm trying to be polite and mince my words. M-I-N-C-E. 那是剁得很细的意思。字剁得很细就表示说我讲话很小心。I don't much like living in the country. I'm trying not to sound like I have really strong feelings and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So I'm being very careful. Sounds more formal. The second one is more colloquial. 就是边想边讲那样子，没有事先规划好我要说什么。I don't like living in the country much.
好，所以这两个之间的差距，各位这个可以注意一下。如果你把 much 放在句尾的话，就是刚 Karen 老师讲的，你边讲边想，比较没有那么正式，比较口语一点。那如果你把那个 I don't much like 这个living in the country 这个 much 放在 like 前面的话，就感觉你是讲话很小心，你在一字一句的斟酌，
有点虚伪，有点架子。
有点虚伪呀。
Okay, letter C.
那我们看到 C 这个部分，他说 very 呢，它可以修饰一般的形容词或者副词但是形容词或副词变成比较级的时候你就只能用 much。换句话说 very 不能修饰比较级，你只能用 much 来修饰。
For example, he walked very slowly.
例如你可以说他走路呢非常的慢，那 very 在这里是修饰这个 slowly 所以副词修饰副词没有问题。
So they're saying we can't use it with 比较级. We couldn't say something like very happier, right?
No 所以底下我们不能说这个什么very happier, very more slowly 都不对。
That's right. All right, our next example is I'm very happy to be of service. Now this is 客套话. We're just being nice. This is just a formulaic speech.
这个是套语就是都是这样讲的，用来表示客套的时候就是很高兴帮得上忙这样子那一样 I'm very happy. Happy 在这里是形容词，那我们用一个 very 加上去修饰这个形容词I'm very happy to be of service.
Now, 那个套语 in English we call formulaic speech. And it's actually quite easy to spell if you can spell formula, which is written just like it sounds. It's from Latin. So write Formula and just add IC. And from formula, it goes to formulaic. 重音在倒数第二个音节. That often happens with IC. And then add speech. That's just an example of formulaic speech.
就是套语，就是所谓套语，就是讲出来就是这个样子，就不会有什么太大的改变，就是一说出来就是这样的一个句子。
And they're useful because sometimes we need these things just to do our job. So if you are working in service in a company, you will need to be able to say things like this really easily without getting tired of it because we want to be polite to our customers because we want them to come back.
那这个在服务业呢，像这种套语就很好用，你要通常讲得很熟。不过要小心，就是讲得很熟的时候不要讲太快。好，我现在发现有的时候中文也是一样，有的时候我现在到某些餐厅，有的
欢迎光临，欢迎光临。
或者那服务人员跟我讲什么，一下子讲完，我就听不懂。
I don't even know what they said.
我就听不懂，说对不起，您刚刚讲什么？那因为他讲太快，他很熟了，所以他一下你如果一下讲完，你不仔细听，真的听不出来。
I get yelled at my daughter before for not understanding this because they said it so many times and it wasn't clear. But the thing is, I misunderstood every time. My daughter says, you've heard this so many times already. Even if it's not clear, you should know what it is by now. It's 有没有统编？
要不要统编？ Yeah.
And it really isn't clear.
Yeah.
And in addition, it's at a gas station. And a lot of the workers actually are 喜憨儿. And so they're 他本来就不清楚. But even if not, it's not clear. But my daughter said, you know exactly what they're going to say. So just think a minute. Don't ask them to repeat it. And she's right. So after that, I was really careful. I just guessed, I think it's 要不要统编? Yeah. All right. So what Wesley said is really true. Say it so we can understand you. Yeah. All right. The next example is no good. He walked very more slowly than I. Big X. It should be he walked much more slowly than I.
好，这个地方就是比较级的，因为 more slowly 是个比较级，所以你要修饰比较级呢，你只能用 much， 不能用 very 当然，修饰比较级还有一些其他的字，等一下我们会讲到，但是在这里大家就记得，我们不能用 very。
The next one is he is very happier than Peter. No good, no good. He's much happier than Peter.
好，一样 happier 是个比较级形容词，所以你一定要用 much 来修饰它。
Okay, D.
好，那 D 呢，就是要注意到修饰 to 的时候呢，只能用 much， 不能用 very。好，所以大家记得 much to 这是一个collocation 没有什么 very to 那种东西，不能讲说he's very too young 没有这种说法。
We say he's much too young.
就是 he's too young， 他太年轻了。那你如果觉得he's too young 还不够，你要讲说他是真的太年轻了，那就加一个 much， he's much too young.
And my mind is coming up with an old folk song where a guy is, it's called Billy Boy. And they ask Billy Boy how old his love is. 3 times 6 and 4 times 7, 28 and 11. So how old is this girl that he is pursuing? 3 times 6 and 4 times 7, 28 and 11. She's a young thing and cannot leave her mother. That's what I think of. He's much too young for her.
所以这样子就想到这样一首歌然后 he's much too young for her， 就他太年轻了跟这女生在一起不合适Yeah.
So if you want to check it, it's called Billy Boy. Look for Billy Boy on YouTube. I'm sure you will find it. It's kind of funny because we sing it just as an ordinary song, but then suddenly when you're in like 4th grade, you suddenly do the math and then you realize what is funny about this song.
Yeah.
Okay, 注意什么？
注意就是通常用来修饰比较级的副词呢有6个，这6个常常用来修饰比较级也就是这6个副词呢后面都可以接比较级，修饰这个比较级。
For example, much, far, a lot, a great deal, still, and even.
好，那所以这些都可以用来接比较级。例如说我们底下还有例句但是例如说像 still 的话或者 even he's even taller than him 他不止这个人还更高有那种感觉。那still 的话就是这个后面也可以接一个这个比较级
And can I just mention really quickly?
Sure.
Recently, I wrote an article about even, and I talk about this. So if anybody is interested in even taller, even better, 那个 even, and other uses of even, ask me on Karen and Ivy, and I'll post it.
所以这个 even 最近 Karen 老师写了一篇文章所以如果各位有兴趣的话，可以到 这个 Karen on IV 上面哈，这个请 Karen 老师把这个文章 po 出来，大家看一看。
Okay.
Yep.
Our examples here are, he's much taller than Al.
他比埃尔高多了，所以不只是高多了 ，much taller.
When you say Ire, I think of Ireland. He's a lot better than Steve. Oh, that sounds so rude.
Yeah, 这个意思，他比史蒂夫好多了，
强多了。
不止好，还好多了。
Okay. Let's move on to E.
现在分词呢，如果它可以当形容词用，而且它可以翻译成为令人如何如何的，这个时候呢
And I have a feeling we're going to get a bunch of words ending in ing.
那这个时候大概通常就尾巴就是 ing 结尾的字，这个时候这些形容词都可以用 very 来修饰。那常用的这一类的形容词的现在分词就是转成形容词的现在分词，包括底下这些字。
Boring.
Boring 是令人无聊的
令人无聊 Everybody hear that? Don't say I am boring unless 你会令人无聊的话，那你就 I am boring. 我是个很无聊的人，就是 nobody's interested in listening to me talk because I have nothing interesting to say. Otherwise you say I'm bored. 我感到很无聊。But 令人无聊 is boring. Next we have charming.
令人着迷的。Yeah.
And 我已经被着迷的话 that's I'm charmed by this very charming young man. All right, confusing.
是令人迷惑的。
If I'm confusing, that means I am making other people confused. 令人怎么样 is ing. Annoying, confusing, boring. 你自己感到很迷惑或等等，那就是加 ed. Please keep those straight because even really good students who know what they're doing, they often mix them up. That means you haven't practiced enough.
所以要小心这个有 ing 的常常就是令人如何如何的你不要搞错。如果你讲的是自己的感受的话，不是令人如何如何的，那个通常都是 ed
Okay, I might say I'm confused. That means there's so much information here and it seems to be there seem to be a lot of contradictions, then I'm confused. Okay, but here we're talking about confusing. This is a really confusing report. I can't tell what they're standing for. Are they for it or against it? Next is interesting.
令人觉得有趣的。
And notice that a lot of people in America now say interesting. I say interesting 3 syllables. But a lot of people say interesting, and Angela is one of them. She's a little younger than me. Not a lot, but a little younger than me. Interesting has gotten really common, but the way I say it is the old way is interesting. All right, the next one is tiring.
这是令人疲惫的、疲累的。
Okay, let's look at some examples. She's indeed a very charming girl.
她实在是个非常迷人的女孩。Charming 在这里是令人着迷的所以呢，它是符合我们这里讲令人什么什么的这种当形容词的现在分词，所以它前面可以加一个 very 来修饰 a very charming girl。And
indeed is not that common a word. We use it, but it sounds kind of 文绉绉的. So when you see indeed, there's probably something going on. So someone said, oh, she's so charming. And I'll say, she's indeed a very charming girl. 我可能有一点酸. Why am I not more charming? Why do you say she's charming? It might be this. Or if it's a man, he'll say, she's indeed a charming girl, but I'll go to jail if I try to get it on with her.
所以这个 indeed 可能就语气可能是有点酸，可能有点保留那种感觉的，就是
There's something going on.
Yeah, 所以各位记得，就是这个 indeed 这个字不是很常见的字，所以呢，如果你用了一个 indeed 的话，就是强调，但是人家就会觉得，你为什么要强调呢？
因为背后有一件什么事情没有跟对方讲，他要由他来猜。
对，所以 indeed 有这种感觉，所以这个字大家不要想说 indeed 等于的确，这个没有之间这种相仿，这种相等的关系。
It does have this meaning, but use it carefully. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. The next example is he raised a very interesting question. This is a very useful sentence.
好，这个句子非常有用他提出了一个很有趣的问题那这个 raised 首先 raised a question 这个也是很好的用法，你不是只是 ask a question raise a question 他提出了，那这个事实上提出问题英文就是 to raise a question 问问题英文是这个 ask a question 所以中文跟英文这两个之间的这个差距是差不多，中文问问题跟提出问题各位可以去感觉一下，感觉不太一样嘛。
That's right, and use Chinese to figure out the English. It will help you because very often they are very similar. When they're similar, use your native language. It's like you got a bunch of free English learning. Totally free.
Yeah, 所以问问题跟提出问题在中文里面感觉是不一样的，提出比较正式一点这问题好像比较伟大一点那英文其实也差不多。
There's one more interesting thing to point out about this question with interesting, and that's the meaning of the word interesting. So 翻作有趣 is not wrong, but what it really means here is 这个人提出一个很值得多探讨的问题。That's what it really means.
所以这个地方这个 interesting 其实是很值得探讨的意思。
多探讨。
很值得多探讨的意思。
That means that we probably missed this. It's a good thing you brought it up because here's something we really need to look into.
所以这个意思就是说，他提出问题，我们可能好像都忽略，但是其实是蛮值得我们多多去想一想，去讨论一下，而且是需要我们去注意的这个一个问题。
That's right. So if you just always translate interesting as 有趣sometimes is kind of 笼统 in Chinese, but sometimes there's some other meaning there that you better pay attention to.
对，所以这个 interesting 这个字非常的 interesting 像在这个例子里面就是表示很值得探讨这个背后有很多这个需要注意的或者我们可以去探讨的东西。但有的时候呢 interesting， 例如说别人讲话讲了一半，这个讲了很久，你听了很久之后讲完之后你不知道怎么应，你就说 Wow, very interesting.
That's right. That's another way. And actually 中文的有趣 sometimes behaves in the same way.
Yeah,
so maybe you said something and I think it's weird or there's something wrong with it, but I don't want to be mean. So, 有趣哦。
Yeah, exactly. 所以这个中文跟英文在这一点上也是很像。Yeah, 这中文的那个有趣有的时候也不是真的有趣，有的时候是你不知道该讲什么，或者是其实你觉得很无聊，你会说蛮有趣的。
Or some big question came up.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to fix this.
Yeah, 所以那有趣也可以表示这个好玩哦，这个东西也有很多可以去想一想的哦。
Right.
所以中文英文这 interesting 用法其实很像。Yeah.
So watch out for it because when you say 有趣 you may be only thinking of the very 很浅的那个最常用的那个意思。可是中文的有趣它其实也有别的用法。All right, part F.
好，那 F 部分他说过去分词那如果当形容词用可以翻译成为感到什么什么的。这种时候呢，这一类的过去分词都跟情绪跟心境有关而且它通常就是 ed 结尾的。那这种呢，它可以用 very 或者 very much 来修饰例如说有底下这几个这种形容词。
I was very much annoyed with Jim, and this is really formal. If you say I was very annoyed with Jim, that's much more 口语。
好，所以这个如果加了一个 much 的话，就非常的 formal 那这个所以一般口语的话只会说 I was very annoyed with him.
And we can also say at. I was really annoyed at Jim.
所以 annoyed 后面也可以用 at, 不一定要用 with.
Yeah, it's sort of like upset with or angry at. So with is probably more correct, but I've heard at as well. Let's look at our next example. He was very much interested in that book. Much sounds really formal. He was very interested in that book. I would usually say he's really interested in that book.
所以这里呢加了一个 much 也是一样，也是加了 much 会很 formal。那你可以说 he was very interested 但是事实上更常听到的可能是 he was really interested in 用 really 而不是用 very， 但用 very 没有错。
That's right. It's fine, but anything that sounds kind of formal, be a little careful because if you're just chatting with somebody, you want to sound natural and comfortable. If you start sounding like a book, it puts a distance between you and your listener.
好，所以有时候讲话太正式感觉起来会跟你的听者有距离所以适合的时机使用适合的语言很重要。
Yeah, 可能听起来比较呆板，或者好像你在摆架子。So be careful how you choose your words. You know, that's it for today, but please tune in next time. We'll be looking out for you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.